Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. So today we're going to talk about the manners for relieving oneself when they go to the restroom. These are the manners that we do before we go to the bathroom. Basically, these are the manners before you go to the bathroom. Okay? And this is very important because we have to know how to properly purify ourselves. And the Prophet ﷺ was perfect in everything. And even there's a hadith where there was a Jewish man and he said to one of the companions, he said, "Your prophet has even taught you how to the manners of going to the restroom?" And he said, "Yes." Basically that is from the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. So that shows us the importance of knowing how to go and follow the proper manners of relieving oneself, because this has to do with your tahara. This has to do with your purification before you make salat. And purification is what? It's a condition for what? We talked about it yesterday. Exactly. Purification is a condition for your prayer. Purification is a condition for prayer. It's a condition for salat. What is purification?
A condition for salat.
Good. So that means if you don't, just like we mentioned the hadith yesterday, لا يقبل الله صلاة أحدكم إذا أحدث حتى يتوضأ, that Allah does not accept a person's prayer if they have, used the bathroom and they didn't make wudu. So that shows us that you must have wudu to make salat. And if you have the major impurities, you need to do what?
You need to take a bath.
Good. You need to make ghusl. You need to take a shower. Ahsant. You guys are in mumtaz. Okay. So these are the manners of relieving oneself. These are the manners before you're going to the restroom. These are part of the manners. These are the manners before. Anyhow. So the first manner is that it is desirable, which means that it is recommended, or it means that it is preferred, that when you enter the bathroom, that you say A'udhu Billah, you say Bismillah, A'udhu Billah min al-khubthi wa khaba'ith. You say A'udhu Billah min al-khubthi wa khaba'ith. Sorry. So you say, "Oh Allah, I seek your protection from evil deeds and evil spirits." This is one of the translations they use. Hold on a minute. These are one of the translations they use for this hadith narration of the Prophet ﷺ, which was related on Anas ibn Malik, and we'll talk about that after this lesson. And so again, this is desirable that you say, "Oh Allah, I seek your protection from evil deeds and evil spirits." This is when you're going into the restroom, going into the bathroom. Or if you're outside, you're going to the place, you're stepping into the area in which you're going to use the bathroom. You should do it with your left hand. You're protecting yourself, and we'll talk about those things as well. This hadith was collected in Bukhari and Ahmed, and in many other hadith collectors. They collected this hadith. So this is a sound hadith. It's an authentic hadith which we have to practice of the Prophet ﷺ. The second manner that we need to observe is that when we enter with the left foot, when we enter the restroom, we enter with the, okay, Jazakallah khairan. When we enter the restroom, we enter with the left foot. Okay? We enter with what? Which foot?
The left foot.
Good. And what do we say?
Allah, I seek your protection from evil deeds
And evil spirits. Good. So that means we do two things right there. So the first, we're saying this dua, or really we're saying it really at the same time, and you're stepping into the bathroom, if you're going into the bathroom, with the left foot. Okay? And if you're outside, of course, you can you're stepping into the area which you're going to use the restroom with the left foot. And so it means that you're entering the place, wherever you're going to use the bathroom, whether it's outside or inside in a bathroom, that you step into that area with your left foot and you say this dua. Okay? Good. And the third thing I want to mention with regards to the manners for relieving oneself is that it is preferred to go far away from the people and hide oneself. So when you're going to the restroom and you're outside, it's different than a bathroom. Since we use bathrooms a lot wherever we are in the world, but in a lot of places you might not have a bathroom. Or if you're outside and you're downtown or somewhere, you may not have a restroom nearby. Or you may not have access to one. So you need to observe these manners and you need to make sure that you go far away from the people. You should not use the bathroom in front of the people so they can see you. That's not good manners. And unfortunately, many people do that. And then the people can see their private parts. They see them doing bad, getting rid of filth. And this is very bad manners. This is not the manners of a Muslim. The practicing Muslim does not do these things. Okay? So make sure that you do what? You go far away from the people and hide yourself. Okay? Good. The fourth thing is that it is preferred to lift one's clothing when they are ready to squat and not before. Squat means when you're almost sitting down. You're like kneeling down because you want to be close to the ground when you go to the bathroom. Okay? You don't want, because when you're standing up for one, the Prophet ﷺ recommended in one hadith, the ruling is that you should not use the bathroom standing up. This is not good manners, but you can. It is permissible if you can guarantee that it's not going to get on your clothing. Okay, and we're going to talk about that. So again, it's preferred to lift one's clothing when they are ready to get close to the earth. When you're getting close to the earth, because if you're standing up and there's rocks and things, it can splash on your clothing. You don't want to do that. You want to be close to the ground. Make it easier, and you want to use the restroom in soft dirt or someplace where it's not going to splash on your clothing. Everybody's okay so far? Yes. You understand, Sahel? Yes. Good. Okay. So it's preferred to also something I didn't write on the board, but it has to do with this third aspect or this third manner, is not only that it's preferred to go far away from the people, but also you should use what's called a sitra or a sutra. You should use something that is going to guard yourself when you're using the bathroom. Like if you can put a sheet up, or you can use the bathroom behind something that conceals you. This is also some of the manners for using the restroom. Use something in front of you to safeguard yourself from people looking at you. Okay? And that's good manners. Isn't that good manners? Yeah, good. Just wait. Quiet. Don't ask silly questions. Okay. Jazakumullah khairan. Okay. طيب. And the fifth aspect, listen up, Liban. The fifth aspect, actually have a seat here because you can't seem to keep silent. Sit, be quiet and sit down on the floor. Sit right there. And you sit on the floor too. Sit on the floor, be quiet. Okay, look here. The sixth manner that we want to try to follow when we're using the restroom is that a person using the restroom should try not to face the Qibla, should try not to face the direction we make salat. Especially outside if you don't have anything in front of you. Okay? In the bathroom, it's okay because the toilets, a lot of times they face, sometimes in the building it might face towards the Qibla. But it's preferred, it's better that you should try to try to go sideways so you're not facing, so your back side is not towards the Qibla and your front side is not towards the Qibla. But it's okay inside of a building. But if you're outside, try your best to go a little bit away from the direction of the Qibla. Turn away from the Qibla.
How do you know which way?
Well, if you know the direction of prayer, that's how you're going to know. If you don't know, then you can't, then all you can do is fear Allah as much as you can. Ittaqullah mastata'tum. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made clear for us in the Quran, that you fear Allah as much as you can. If you don't know, you're not responsible. Okay? If you don't know something and you tried your best to follow the manners and etiquettes of Islam, then you're not going to be held responsible for that. Okay? Good. So you should not use the bathroom in the direction of the Qibla. Another thing, a person should not use the bathroom in the shade or on a place where people walk, like a pathway or the road or something like that, for a couple of reasons. Of course, on the road and so forth, we don't do that. I mean, especially if people are around, they can see you and so forth. But the main point here, as the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, he said the person who does this is cursed. The Prophet ﷺ said that the person who urinates and uses the bathroom in the shade of the people, where people need to take shade, because especially in the time of the Prophet ﷺ and in those lands, like in the Arab Peninsula, it's very hot. And people need shade. Shade is very valuable. When you live in a hot place, you'll see that the shade is very important. So you don't want to use the bathroom in the shade, because the animals use the shade and people use the shade to rest in. And then it'll be smelly, and then the people can't pray there, they can't sit there, they can't eat there. So you don't want to do that. You want to be not going to a place where the people are walking and in the shade. Also along the path, because everyone is walking on the path. And that would be very nasty and disgusting if you're using the bathroom where the people are walking a lot. Because the people could, of course, get najasa on themselves, get the filth on themselves by walking in it, stepping in it, or they have to smell the bad smell. So you don't want to do that. You want to always be away from the people and away from the important places that the people use. Also, another point we want to mention is that do not urinate, do not use the bathroom in standing water, in water that's not moving. Okay? If you have like a small, tiny area that has water, you should not use the restroom in there. And it's good manners anyway not to use the bathroom, even if it's a lake or it's a river. But definitely the Prophet ﷺ mentioned specifically that even the swimming pool, no, because the swimming pool is standing water. So that's very nasty. That means people are going in there and swimming, and you've urinated and other people have used the bathroom, and that's very nasty. That's very filthy. So that's not the manners of a Muslim. So listen. So that's not the manners of a Muslim. Okay? What did I just say? I said the lake. I said everywhere. Do not use the bathroom near water or in the water. Okay? And the Prophet ﷺ specifically, that doesn't mean any small, it doesn't mean a toilet, no. I'm talking about water like water that people might use to swim in, or people might use for wudu, or people might use for purification. Do not do that. Or people are swimming in or using the sea. So you don't want to use it in lakes, you don't want to use it in rivers, you don't want to use it like that. You want to use the bathroom in those places that are not frequented by the people. But the Prophet ﷺ specifically prohibited using the restroom in a place where there's standing water. You know, using the urinating in standing water. That is, standing water means water that's not moving. Okay? It means water that's not moving. Stagnant water, we say. Good. Another point I want to mention, listen up. We'll talk about that later. There's many more details, but we have some specific hadith that we'll study later that deal with this, and they'll be coming up soon, probably next week. The last thing I want to mention as far as manners for before you use the restroom is that you must protect yourself and your clothing from getting filth on them. So that's the point why you want to be close to the earth, because when you're standing, it can splash more. But if you're sitting closer, there's less room for it to splash, and you use it so it's going away from you. And that's the whole point of having, if it's a hole in the ground or something kind of like the outhouses and stuff like that, that makes it much easier. So those are some of the manners that have to do with using, relieving oneself. And these are the manners that we observe before relieving oneself and also during. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept this humble effort from us, and we'll have questions now. And after that, we're going to mention the manners for actually when we